Everybody, it's Raisins here. I've been practicing my FE6 draft race, and I got super stuck on Chapter 20 if you're following me, but I just found a way through with Shanna and Roy that I think is relatively easy to replicate. There's some luck, but yeah, I mean, the main difficulty in this chapter is just dealing with those druids with the sleep staff. I tried to do it straight up, you really can't do it. So turn 1, I'm doing a little bit of RN manip, just because I know that this ballista will smack me otherwise. But turn 1, you want to have Shanna completely unequipped, so that way the druids don't try to target her with the sleep staff. But you want her on a traversable tile, so that the druids, they have a sleep staff, but they also have a weapon, like they have a dark magic tome. So they're going to detect that they can attack Shanna, so they'll move towards it. This is important because that one druid on the left side is actually covering the throne room, not giving you space. You need him to move out, you only need to do that for one turn though. Once you get moving, you're completely fine. Now, I'm going to turn on the animations just so that you can see the hit rates that you have to survive, and, like, you know, you can do the math to figure out the success rate of this strategy. But the idea here is, like, we're going to move Shanna in. At some point soon, we're going to drop Roy to give Shanna more avoid. The extra 14 points of speed, and then the 7.5 points of avoid from the support are going to be huge. But right now, we can't do it because Roy would actually be vulnerable. So, basically, the rest of this chapter is I'm going to drop Roy, and we're going to move Roy and Shanna, but neither of which will have weapons equipped. And we're just trying to minimize the damage that we take while getting close enough to the Berserk Druid, who is in the throne room, to then take him out with a weapon. So this drop is actually pretty technical. You want to drop Roy on that door, because if you drop him any further, then the Armor Knight will advance, and remember, you can't equip weapons. So if the Armor Knight advances and you can't equip weapons, you're just completely screwed. Like, the hallway is blocked, you can't advance at all, and you can't kill the Armor Knight. Shanna being on low health is actually a boon here, because now these bishops and snipers will prioritize targeting Shanna, especially the Purge bishop. The two bishops, the one with the Purge and the Lightning, are very accurate and pose a big threat to Roy. So, if possible, you want to have them target Shanna, but if they're chasing Roy, Roy can usually just swallow bones, and he'll be fine. Now, as you get into the throne room, this is like really the part 2 of the strategy. Is this Killer Bow Sniper. This Killer Bow Sniper is insane. He can one-shot Shanna, he can one-shot Roy. He has incredible accuracy. The good news about him, though, is that if you move out of his range, he won't attack you. So, the next challenge is to move around Shanna and Roy, neither of whom will have weapons, and just try to manipulate the Killer Bow Sniper's position to a point where he attacks you from behind and you can just run out of his range. This is the key idea. Try to make the Killer Bow Sniper attack you from behind and just completely run out of his range. If you run out of his range, he won't chase you. You don't have to deal with him. It's possible to complete the chapter with the Killer Bow Sniper still shooting at you, but the more attacks he sends your way, the lower your chances of completing the chapter are. Now, I don't think this is the turn where I get the Killer Bow Sniper off my back, but it's coming up soon. Essentially, you're just moving Roy down here. I put Shanna here because I want to have these, well, actually I don't know why I put Shanna there, that seems like a mistake. But the idea here is like, alright, you want to move your units in such a way that you can block targeting, if possible. This sniper is going to come down here and attack Roy, which is pretty good. I can't remember exactly where, yeah, Clever Sniper went for Shanna. But this is good news now, because the next turn I'm going to move Roy super far left, and then put Shanna somewhere to the right-ish, and then that should manipulate the position of the Killer Bow Sniper. Now you see that this chapter has already had some risks, like you could have got hit by 2 Ballista or a Ballista and a Sniper in that first room, and then here, literally any time that the Killer Bow Sniper attacked, I was putting myself at risk. Now, this is kind of a strange play, because I'm leaving them outside of support range, but at the end of the day, the 7.5 avoid is not huge, and the main thing I need is for Shanna to be in a position to really tempt the Killer Bow from attacking from behind. So right here, like Shanna in this position, there are 2 spaces where the Killer Bow can shoot from behind. There's 2 to the right of Shanna, and there's the space he just walks down into. If I put Shanna south near Roy, then he would not have either of these attacking squares. And also here, they're both very close to the Longbow Sniper. So enemies, when they attack, they like to be near each other as they attack, which is why I did it exactly like this, so that the Killer Bow Sniper is forced downwards, forced to attack from one of the squares close to there. As you can see, I think I just highlighted the Killer Bow Sniper. He no longer has range into the throne room, which is absolutely perfect. So now, as long as I kill this Berserk Druid, which I do. And the Berserk Druid is what was keeping you from equipping weapons. If the Berserk Druid was there and you had weapons equipped, he would just Berserk you and the chapter would be over. You'd have to control her. But the fact that you can kill him now, and that the Killer Bow Boy is off to the east, not ever going to do anything ever again, then you can do this completely unmolested. The Killer Bow guy, if you think about it, like, as long as you get him to attack you from behind, like, think about his range. He has 6 points of movement and then 2 points of range from the weapon, so it's essentially 8 tiles of effective range. If he attacks Shanna from behind, and then Shanna just moves her full 10 movement somewhere else, then the sniper will not be able to follow you. He won't be able to pursue. So now the rest of the chapter is just, okay, make sure that Roy survives the Bishop, the Longbow, and the Killer Ballista. I think if all 3 of them hit Roy, he'll die. If only 2 of them hit, Roy will be fine. And the Killer Bow, there's no way the Killer Ballista, like, kills Roy at this point. So now all that's left is to have Shanna kill him. It looks tempting to put Roy in the spot, like the very northwestern spot. Right there, because like, oh, it's tucked away, only 1 unit can attack him, but then he might actually get trapped and prevented from moving to the throne. I do think this is just the safest tile. Yeah, a lot of units can attack Roy, but Roy Swallowing Bones will be able to stay alive. And as long as Shanna gets like reasonable crits, you choose a Killer Lancer so that you get reasonable crits. As long as Shanna gets reasonable crits, you'll be fine. Now, as far as the Roy strategy goes, my Shanna was able to kill him in 7 turns, but there's usually a lot of variance here. It could take you way longer, it could take you way shorter. But, again, it's relatively straightforward and not very dangerous at all. As long as Royce is attacking Shanna, you'll be good to go. Like, Roy is taking no damage at all from this lightning as long as he keeps swallowing bones. Shanna's about to kill Royce because she finally gets a crit, but even if it takes you ages and ages, like, you'll still be good to go. So I attack Royce first with Shanna because, like, you just want to resolve this. If Shanna kills him, then you literally win the chapter. If she doesn't, then the chapter continues. So, like, don't worry too much about it. But again, like, what were the key ideas here? Leave weapons unequipped so you don't get targeted by sleep. Stay on a traversable square tile 1 so the druid moves forward. And then, you know, drop Roy, do some movement. Once you get in the throne room itself, you want to maneuver the Killer Bow Sniper out of range. Oh, and you get an Angelic Robe because you technically saved all the civilians. Don't know if that's going on Roy or Shanna. Anyway, enjoy.